Hey everybody, thanks for listening to and watching on the podcast. Short episode format podcast that you can listen to or watch while you're doing your business on the pot. Or maybe you're getting your oil changed at one of those little fast drive-through spots.
Yeah.
Valvoline.
Jiffy Lube. Valvoline right next to Willow Creek, Colorado.
Take 5.
I've never been to that one. Yeah, I used to do those. Now I get the 6-month ones. So that costs a little bit more, but then I don't have to think about it for 6 months.
I think even at those other ones, you don't have to think about. I think
it's supposed to be 3 months.
No, it's always only supposed to be 6.
Anyway.
It does take a little bit that you're sitting in the car while they do that stuff. So turn on an episode of our podcast and learn a little bit while you take care of your car.
And hear chuckles from underneath your hood.
Yeah.
Turn it up real loud so everybody
can tears, enjoy. Depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I'm Liz.
And I'm Katie. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Katie.
What are we talking about today?
Katie, I'm excited about this one. We are talking about the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, amazing. Okay. I don't know much about it. When I was a kid, I was convinced that it was like, actual triangle on a map.
It is. It kind of is.
Well, yeah, but like boundaries set like in defined on a map.
Yeah.
Like a state.
Yeah. You're going to put up a map right here on the video and you will draw that.
Yeah, but you have to draw it. It's not drawn for you.
Kind of.
Anyway.
Planes,
boats, all the things.
Yeah. So, honestly, I could have I could have pieced this out into other episots and
could have done 6 episodes on it. I'm sure.
Could have done a lot more. Done a lot more. And some of these maybe we will go back to. Maybe not, because every time we say we're going to go back to it, we never do.
Forget. Sorry. Someday.
But, yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Okay.
So, the Bermuda Triangle, a.k.a. the Devil's Triangle.
Ooh.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when people name landmarks after the devil. Like, we've got, Devil's Thumb and, Devil's Head Ranch and Devil's Tower. I'm just, Devil's Thumb out here, I'm just yeah, that does look like the Devil's Thumb.
I was looking, I have a list of episodes that I have thought about over the years that we've been doing this. And one of them is Devil's Gate that I looked at today. And I Googled it and I was like, I don't think that's what I was thinking of, but maybe it is. But yeah, Devil's everything. Also, Devil's Tower.
Yep. I can't remember if it's this episode or a different episode, but I believe that there's inspiration to Close Encounters for one of these.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. Very good. Very good. So the boundaries are a triangle spanning from Florida to Bermuda to Puerto Rico and later defined by someone it ranges, mind you. Some people put it all the way out to Ireland, but
that's big.
Yeah. It ranges from about 0.5 to 1.5 square miles.
Okay.
But somebody put it a little bit more detailed as Miami to Bermuda to San Juan.
Okay.
So when Katie puts the map up here for the online visitors.
Map here.
Yeah. It's going to be straight out of an ESPN, a sports ESPN, whatever, where they use the yellow markering. You'll do that. Or not. No promises. So the Sargasso Sea already had a reputation of the ships, and that's just about due east of the east coast of the United States.
Okay.
And that's where the Bermuda Triangle kind of lands in, but it already had a reputation of a ton of ships missing over there.
Before Bermuda Triangle came into, okay.
Yeah, because the very first kind of mention of the Bermuda Triangle was on September 17th, 1950.
I guess I didn't realize it was that recent. Yeah.
And it was an article written by Edward Van Winkle Jones, which I'm not enough people have the name Van Winkle anymore.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah. But he wrote this article in the Miami Herald, and it was about unusual disappearances near Bermuda. Mm-hmm. And then George X. Sand, another great name, wrote an article called "The Sea Mystery at Our Back Door" in Fate magazine 2 years later, and that's when he kind of laid out the triangle of the Bermuda Triangle. Mm-hmm. And then he listed several like ships and plane disappearances in the area during World War II.
Okay.
So like some of these disappearances had happened before these articles, but it wasn't like actually like called the Bermuda Triangle or called out until these articles. Okay, so let's get into the disappearances. The HMS Atlanta left the Royal Naval Dockyard in Bermuda on January 31st, 1880, for Falmouth, England. Like, name a more English name than Falmouth. And it just disappeared. Okay?
See, that like 1880, that's as far back as I would expect the Bermuda Triangle to go.
For sure. Was it possibly a storm? Was it possibly inexperienced trainees? Or was it something more sinister? So further investigation kind of said like, oh, there were storms at the time, and yes, the crew was a bit inexperienced, and maybe that's why.
But in 1880, whatever, like there's not, radio capabilities not there, communication not there, so
yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
Don't know. Okay, the next thing we have is the USS Cyclops. It departed Barbados on March 4th, 1980. It was carrying manganese ore, a heavy metal.
1980?
1980, yes. Sorry,
yeah, okay.
1980.
No, that's what you said. I just wanted to make sure.
It had a crew of 306 people, and it vanished without a trace.
See, that one, 1980, like, you should be able to keep track of that shit.
Well, yeah, and here's the deal. Was it overloaded with manganese ore?
Pretty heavy. Turns
out there were investigators that reported no, it was actually like secured. It was secured correctly.
Pirates?
That pirates was not an assumption of this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, speaking of pirates, we come across the Carroll A. Deering, which is not a human, that's a ship. This was a schooner. Built in 1919, and it was found abandoned near Cape Hatteras in North Carolina.
And when was that? 1919.
The Carroll A. Deering was a cargo ship filled with coal, and it was headed to Rio de Janeiro. And they stopped in Barbados to get some supplies. They leave Barbados on January 9th, and they go disappearing. And somebody had seen, like, there'd been reports of the ship kind of near where it was found abandoned, and people were saying like there were crew members just like milling about in places that the crew wouldn't be, and they just like weren't sure what was going on. And then sure enough, it ends up in this place called the Graveyard of the Atlantic.
Okay.
And so it's like they don't know, like, was it rum runners, was it pirates, was it domestic commies?
Oh, those domestic commies.
Russians, essentially.
Yeah, man. All these ships disappearing.
Yeah. That one I think is the weirdest of them all. Like, a whole episode could be done on that one.
Yeah.
Because it's way more complicated than the information I just gave. So, yeah. Okay. Then we have flight number 19, because we're getting out of the sea and into the air.
Okay.
This was a training flight of 5 torpedo bombers. Just a training flight.
Yeah.
On December 5th, 1945, they left Fort Lauderdale, heading 141 miles north, and then they were going to come back.
Okay.
And they all just disappeared.
5 of them.
All 5 of them.
Yeah.
And several search and rescue crews went out, and one of the search and rescue crews was a 13-man plane, and it didn't return either.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, was it a storm?
No.
Was it a history of those planes having vapor leaks? I don't know.
When was that?
1945.
Again, communication not great during the 40s. But better than the 1800s.
It
You
is.
would think they would be able to radio, especially within, 145 miles, 150 miles. That's a lot, but it's not a terrible amount.
Yeah.
You think they would still have radio communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, a lot of these, like, I'm skipping out on so many details of all of these.
But
like,
we're scratching the surface.
yeah, we're barely
But
scratching the surface.
they're frustrating.
Yeah. So then there was the Star Tiger, and Star Ariel.
Airplanes.
They were airplanes.
Okay.
They were the British South American Airways, which was a fleet of 3 crafts, which were made for like transatlantic flights, essentially. And these planes had made 11 flights and had over 545 hours. And on January 28th, 1948, Star Tiger left with 16 passengers.
Passenger flights or like
Passenger flights. Like
Yeah,
the whole
so not, like,
purpose was to
military.
the whole
Yeah.
purpose was to do transatlantic flights.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was for trade, but a lot of it was just like to go from essentially like the Caribbean to England and back.
Okay.
So it leaves Bermuda, and there were strong winds that day. And so the pilot tried to avoid these winds and kind of took like a little bit of a different route. Gets way off course, makes contact around 3 a.m., but is like too far for like good radio. But basically, like the last conversation that they have with the pilot, he's like, we're still good. We're still gonna make it.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, they get too far out of good radio contact and it just disappears.
Which, like, this one sounds like weather a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know this better than anyone because of your dad, but, like, when you get disoriented in the air and you can't, like, tell up from down, like, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, and there are, like, reports of people, like, claiming that being in that space of the Bermuda Triangle, like, everything is very disorienting and, like, the sea doesn't look like the sea anymore and it's very confusing.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, we can write this one off, except for that the Star Ariel left for flight on January 17th, 1949. So a year later, there were 7 crew members and 13 passengers. It was a perfectly fine day.
Yeah.
Nothing weather related. And there was a message sent out about how they departed at 8:41. And at 9:42 a.m., the pilot says, I was over 30 degrees north at 9:37. And then there were no more messages. And then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
And again, was it weather? It was a perfectly fine day, but there were some investigations done, and there was an accusation of, like, royal sabotage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Important people on that flight?
No. I think it was, like, an transatlantic
Just sending
movement
some
or
sort
whatever.
of message, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So potential, like, terrorism.
Potentially, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there again, this one you could look further into. We could do a further episode into.
Yeah.
I guess all of these. So then there was the Douglas DC-3 flight NC-16002 on December 28th, 1948. It left San Juan to Miami. There were 32 people on board, and it just disappeared.
Like, no,
Just disappeared.
Like, communication errors, nothing. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah?
There were 2 bodies that were found that got washed up shore, but, like, nobody was sure if they were connected to that flight or not.
Yeah. Interesting.
Again, it was like, was it bad weather? Supposedly there were some, like, bad batteries, and the crew member was like, we're just going to charge those batteries on the flight. Was it the batteries? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, all of these together, it's too big of a coincidence to be like, whether, flight errors, pilot errors, like something happened with the plane. Like, it's too much.
We'll talk about it. Okay, then there was the Connemara 4, which was a cruise yacht, and it was found adrift without a crew south of Bermuda on September 26th, 1955. And basically it was like there were 3 hurricanes that rolled through the area between September 14th and 18th.
Okay.
And essentially, like, there was a letter written home to someone that was like, we don't know how to weather these hurricanes. We're just going to, like, brace for it, essentially. So, but even still, if 3 hurricanes rolled through a cruise ship, you know, unless everybody evacuates and tries to go somewhere, it's like, why is the yacht completely empty?
Yeah. But how big was that?
I don't know. It was a cruise
Little.
ship. It was a cruise
Big.
ship. I don't know. It was a yacht. Who knows?
Big cruise ship? Like today cruise ship? Or
I
like,
doubt it was like a yacht.
Yeah. 10 people.
Yeah. Okay, then there was the KC. There were 2 KC-135 Stratotanker U.S. Air Force crafts that crashed into each other on August 28th, 1963. They were 300 miles west of Bermuda, and supposedly there were 2 crash sites 160 miles apart.
Eesh.
But one of those crash sites might have been seaweed.
Maybe it's a rock formation.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Then there was the SS Cotopaxi, and this one left Charleston for Havana. It was a coal cargo ship. There were 32 crew, left on November 29th, 1925. On December 1st, there was a distress call, and then they didn't hear anything, so they just kind of called it as, like, done, gone on December 31st. It was discovered offshore. Well, it was discovered underneath the ocean in 1980 off of St. Augustine. 1980. Many years later.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. And then finally, there was the MU-2B, which is a private Mitsubishi aircraft. Mm-hmm. And this one is much more recent because it's like, okay, all this stuff is from like the 50s, 60s, 1800s, whatever.
Mm-hmm. That 1980 plane, though.
Well, it was found in 1980, but it crashed in 1925.
Oh.
Or the boat crashed in 1925.
Okay.
This one crashed on May 18th, 2017, outside of Bermuda. There were 4 people on board. Was it storms or was it pilot error? Because this is a small plane. Happens all the time.
Crashed, found, crashed, never found,
Never
crashed.
found. Like, most of these were never, like, found, other than, like, maybe some debris here and there that, like, couldn't totally be connected to whatever.
Yeah. 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 So,
I don't know.
I'm sure there's many more, but those are the ones of note.
Okay.
Now, there are explanations.
Okay. Besides the stuff that we went over.
Yeah.
Pilot
So, yeah.
fuel.
Well, some of that. So, some of these are ancient technology from Atlantis.
Oh, you mean to
The
make
lost
what
city
made
of
them
Atlantis,
crash?
yes.
I understand.
Yeah. Yep.
Like cannonballs.
No, like Atlantis, because the lost city of Atlantis was very, like, ahead of its time. And
Magnets pulling things
quite
out
possibly.
of the sky.
We don't know. An alien parallel universe.
I like that one. Yes, good. Okay.
Compass issues, because supposedly compasses act weird in that area.
Yeah.
But there's, like, researchers have gone out there and there's, like, nothing that's saying, like, the magnetic fields are off, which is strange. The Gulf Stream, which is essentially like a river within the ocean, which can cause a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Human error, violent weather, and then methane hydrates. I guess there's large fields of methanes on the continental shelves underneath there.
Okay.
And researchers have determined that any one of these bubbles, if they were like bubbles of methane were to come up, could absolutely sink a ship, which is kind of crazy.
Sink a ship, or maybe like, would it... Methane's heavier than air?
I just think that a burst of like that volume could like really rock.
But I was thinking like for the planes, would it
the
have
planes,
risen into
this
the air
says
and
this
like
says sink ships.
Oh, okay.
Not planes. Like
I was
wouldn't-
thinking
the
like
planes are like whatever.
rise into the air, suffocate everybody.
The planes are whatever, yeah. No. No. Probably not. But no. So, and then like there've been researchers that push back and say, look, it's a heavily trafficked area. Mm-hmm. It's based on how trafficked it is. The amount of like disappearances and shipwrecks and incidents and all that is literally no different than other parts of the ocean.
Anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask is I wonder if there's like a percentage, somebody's broken down a percentage of like how many ships, planes, whatever, have gone missing, crashed, versus like everywhere else in the world.
They have. Yeah. And in all honesty, I mean, that's the Caribbean. Like, there's hurricanes like all the time. I mean, you and I couldn't even get out of St. Thomas because of weather in Miami, and then weather in fucking Pennsylvania, and then weather in Dallas, North Carolina, like New Orleans. Like, we couldn't get out because of weather. Yeah. And so like that could be the real factor of it all.
Yeah. Well, that's boring.
Boring.
Weather.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I always thought it was more ominous than that. Doing the research, it's a little bit disheartening, but at the same time, too, it's kind of like, you know, I was like, I kind of want to avoid that, like, because, I mean, as intriguing as it is, but, like, the risk is high. But now I'm like, if it's a weather thing, maybe it really isn't fucking worth going out there anyway.
Yeah, who knows? But 2017, like, you think we'd have the weather reports and such.
I do think, again, this is like a private plane, like tiny little pilot. Like, I think most planes nowadays avoid the area, but yeah. Little private jet.
They avoid it for a reason.
Pirates, aliens, weather. I don't know.
We don't know.
Atlantis.
Something
you figured
else.
Out. Yeah.
Vortex.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, Liz.
You're welcome.
So what's that inside my body?
Something mysterious.
Always.
Yep. And a little bit of knowledge.
Okay. See you next time.
Bye.